Hello Cloud Pedagogians, welcome back to the Cloud Pedagogy. In today's lab, we will implement CloudWatch concepts in our student directory application. We are going to run through some of the features that Amazon CloudWatch has to offer. We have already deployed resources into our AWS account for our student directory application. So to get a handle on what CloudWatch is and how it works, let's dive into the AWS console and see what we can see. The end goal of this demo is to set up a dashboard that shows us the CPU utilization of the EC2 instance that we launched hosting our student directory application. And then we also want to set up an alert that will be sent out if the CPU utilization of the instance goes over 30% for a period of time. Something to note about CloudWatch is that a lot of AWS services begin reporting metrics to CloudWatch automatically when you create the resources. So let's go ahead and hop into the AWS console and explore what types of metrics are available from the resources we have already created in the previous lessons. If you're ready, let's start with the task. In task 1, we will create CloudWatch dashboard. In task 2, we will create metrics to the dashboard and save them. In task 3, we will create SNS topic. In task 4, we will create alarm. In task 5, we will test this alarm whether it is working properly or not. So let's start with the task 1. Create CloudWatch dashboard. You can see that I'm already in the AWS management console, and what I want to do now is to navigate CloudWatch and select the service. This brings me to the CloudWatch dashboard. And so now what I want to do is to view the metrics that were created by the resources from previous lab. I'm first going to create a dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and click Dashboards. A dashboard in CloudWatch is a customizable page in the console that you can use to monitor different types of resources in a single view. This includes resources that are spread across different regions too. I want to create a dashboard that shows me the CPU utilization over time for the EC2 instance. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dashboard. We're going to click Create Dashboard, give some name to the dashboard, and then click Create Dashboard. The dashboard is successfully created. The next thing is we need to add widgets to this dashboard. That's what we are going to do in the next task. In task 2, we will create metrics and then add that to the dashboard. Click on plus symbol to add the widget in the dashboard. So I want to add a line graph as a widget on this dashboard because I want to compare the CPU utilization over time. So a line is going to be good for this one. And then it asks from which data source would you like to create widget. You can select metrics or logs. I'm going to go ahead and select metrics in this case. Then I will click Next. And now down here, it's listing all of the metrics. It groups by service because again AWS resources do often automatically post metrics to CloudWatch when it's created. So I'm going to go ahead and select EC2 for the service. And then I want to select per instance metrics. And now I'm going to filter the instance in this account by the instance ID for our student directory application, which I just had copied into my clipboard. And now we can scroll down and see all of the different metrics that are available for this instance. I'm going to go ahead and select CPU utilization here. And then I'm going to select Create Widget. Alright, so now we can see that we have this widget, this line graph showing us the CPU utilization, and this gives us visibility into one aspect of the health of our EC2 instance. You can explore in your own account what other metrics are available to you through CloudWatch by default. But you can also report custom metrics to CloudWatch programmatically. This is good to know because with EC2 and CloudWatch, you only get visibility into the health of the instance by default, which doesn't really give you a holistic picture of the health of your application. This application running on the instance might not be operating correctly, but the CPU utilization could be fine. So keep in mind that you may choose to use custom metrics to get a more detailed and accurate view of health in these dashboards. So now once a dashboard is created, you can then share it with others on your team so that everybody can get a good view of the health of your application. So now that we have created this dashboard, we are going to go back and click Save Dashboards, and that saves the widget here. And if you just hover, you can see the different data points and what the CPU utilization was. You can see we hit a spike where we really maxed out our CPU for a couple of minutes here early today, and then it came back down. So this would have been indicative of some sort of operational event going on. Congratulations, you have successfully created the task 2 by adding metric to the AWS CloudWatch dashboard. In task 3, we create SNS topic. AWS has a service called Amazon Simple Notification Service or SNS, which allows you to create a topic and then send out messages to subscribers of this topic. You can imagine a scenario where we have system admins or developers on call for our student directory application. And if something goes wrong, we want to send them an email, paging them, letting them know that something is wrong with the app that they need to look into. So in order to make that happen, what we are going to do is we are going to select create new topic, and then we can give a topic a name. All we have to make sure here is make sure that is unique. So I'm going to go ahead and give a unique name. Give some descriptions if you want to. So let the defaults as it is and click on create topic. Your topic is created. Next thing is we need to create subscriptions. Click on subscription on the left navigation and then click create subscription. Select your SNS topic created earlier, and then we are going to enter the email endpoint that will receive notification. In this case, I am going to go ahead and just put my email address, and then we will click create subscription. You must confirm the subscription before the email address can start to receive messages. To confirm a subscription, check your email box and choose Confirm Subscription in the mail from Amazon SNS. Amazon SNS opens your web browser and displays a subscription confirmation with your subscription ID. Congratulations, you have successfully created the SNS topic and subscription for that topic as well. In task 4, we will create an alarm. So next thing we want to do is move on to another feature of CloudWatch, and that is Amazon CloudWatch alarms. So now I'm going to go ahead and click alarms here. And notice I have no alarms in this account. What I want to do is create a CloudWatch alarm that will notify me whenever the CPU utilization goes over a certain threshold. In general, CloudWatch alarms allow you to create thresholds for the metrics that you are monitoring, and these thresholds can define normal boundaries for the values of the metrics. If a metric crosses a boundary for a period of time, then the alarm would be triggered, and you can then take a couple of different automated actions after an alarm is triggered. In our case, I just want to notify someone via an email when the CPU utilization spikes over 30% for some period of time, say 1 minute. So let's create an alarm to do that. Now what we will do is click create alarm and then we will select the metric for this alarm. We will select EC2 and then select per instance metrics. Just as before, paste in that instance ID and then select the CPU utilization metric. And click select metric. From here you can give this a specific name if you would like to, and you also have to select what type of statistic this is. We are going to leave it as average because we want to view the average CPU utilization over a period of time. In our case, I will select 5 minutes. You want to make sure that you pick a reasonable time period where you don't wait too long to respond. But you also don't respond to every short-lived uptake in CPU utilization. There is a balance to strike here and it will be highly dependent on your specific situation and your desired outcome. Okay, so now I will scroll down and I am going to then type in 30 for this defined threshold here. And we are looking for the alarm to trigger when the metric crosses the threshold of 30% for more than 5 minutes. So now I'm going to go ahead and click next, and this brings us to the configure actions page. And so for this one you can now decide, okay, what are we going to do once this alarm is triggered. For CloudWatch alarms, there are 3 states an alarm can be in. Either in alarm, okay, or insufficient data. An alarm can trigger an action when it transitions between these 3 states. In our case, I want to have this send out an alert to an email address when it transitions from OK to in alarm. We'll scroll down and click next. Give alarm a name and enter some description about the alarm. And then click next. Now we can preview this alarm. So notice the red line here. We set the alarm at 30%. We would have triggered an alarm earlier, but we didn't have anything in place, so we didn't know that anything was going on. After this, if it spikes again, we should be able to get an email sent out to our admin, which in this case is me. Alright, so I'll scroll down and just click create alarm, and that's it. This will remain in this insufficient data state for a while until it gathers enough information about the CPU utilization to be able to correctly read if this is okay or if it is in alarm. Alright, so what we have done now is we have created a dashboard that is monitoring the CPU utilization of our instance, and we have created a CloudWatch alarm that will send out an email using Amazon SNS whether the metric crosses the threshold. Congratulations, you have done the task successfully. In the next task, we will test this alarm by increasing CPU load on the EC2 instance. To trigger the alarm manually, we will increase the load on this EC2 instance. To do so, first I will connect to the EC2 instance. Here I'll install some required packages to load on the EC2 instance. Hence the packages are successfully created. Now I'll stress the EC2 instance using the stress command. This will increase the load to 50% for 60 consecutive seconds. This will trigger the alarm and bring down the EC2 instance. As soon as the condition meets, you will get notified by mail. So let me check my inbox. If you don't find a mail in inbox, please check your spam folder. Congratulations! In this lab, we learned to create a sentence topic, a subscription and an alarm. We also saw how CPU load can be increased manually to trigger the alarm, which in return sends a notification on email. There are also other actions that you can take when an alarm is triggered, and we will go over that in upcoming lessons. So that's it for now. I hope this is useful and helpful for you. See you again in my next video. Until then, take care.